done live before. It's a little bit tricky to do on both. So I think it's working. And hopefully you can still hear me. But essentially, the most important thing is, okay, let's start now. I am Luke Frye, Washington CPA and co-founder of Timber Tax, and we have had a very busy few weeks, much different than a typical April 15th, as I'm sure all of you have had a very different, atypical April as well. And what we are primarily talking about is Washington unemployment, and we're also talking about the Payroll Protection Plan. So the Payroll Protection Program is something I've talked about a couple times. We've helped people apply for like over $500,000 worth of funding, and I know that a handful of people have actually gotten funding. So over probably around $100,000 has been funded. And so the way it works is you apply for the Payroll Protection Program, and this does, if you are self-employed, single owner business, that does apply to you. So when you're thinking wages, it actually does apply to you as your net earnings from self-employment. If you're our client, we also uploaded a Schedule C to your client portal, as well as a calculation of the amount you can request on the loan. So Payroll Protection Program should have received additional funding, and a lot of it's going to go to smaller banks and smaller businesses because it ran out first. So if you applied already, that's good because you're already in the queue for getting that added on. And then if you haven't applied yet, we recommend that you still go ahead and apply. Sound Community Bank in the Seattle area seems to be a very good one to work with. They have they do not have a requirement that you have an account with them. So a lot of banks require that you had an account, and maybe even that you had a business account open at February 15th to apply with them. So Sound Community Bank is one that you can apply to without having an account already. So do recommend self-employed, single owner business, have employees. If you have been affected by COVID and you haven't applied for payroll protection, please do apply for the Payroll Protection Program. Okay, now this next part is going to be mostly for Washington people. So if you're self-employed or even if you lost your job, unemployment is a good option for you. So even so, if you were self-employed and were at a loss for last year, so the number we use is your net income from last year. And so if you didn't have income last year for whatever reason, first year business or just a down year, then you want to apply for unemployment. And there's basically a two-step process. You have to apply under the regular way with Washington, and that's the Employment Security Department. And then once you've done that, you have to create an account. It is sort of annoying. You have to create, I believe, a Secure Access Washington account. You have to apply, and then you have to get declined, and then you have to reapply to get it from this new way, which is to add on the self-employed people as well. And we've had at least 2 clients get approved and get money from unemployment from Washington. So if you haven't already applied for payroll protection, do that. If you had net income from last year and you have been waiting, and then if you're in Washington, make sure that you follow that 2-step process. If you're in another state and you've also lost income from this and you don't qualify for payroll protection, then I would go ahead and figure out your unemployment application with your state. Unfortunately, they are receiving unprecedented volumes as well, so you have to be a bit of a savvy user, especially with Washington. We're very helpful. We have lots of information we can share with you. With other states, we're working on that. So if you have questions about signing up for unemployment, let us know. The key is that you can't be on both payroll protection and unemployment. So it is possible to apply for unemployment, get that for the back period, get your payroll protection program loan, go off of it, and then once that expires around June 30th, then on that day you can apply for unemployment again or get back on it. The good thing is unemployment has been extended much longer than it had been in the past, so there's a lot more benefits to doing that. We also recommend that you do elect to have withholding on the unemployment because you may end up owing tax on that. So we want to make sure that you're having withholding done on that tax for you. So that way you don't have a huge tax bill as well next year. Okay, short and brief today, but I want to say, if you have any questions about unemployment, if you have any questions about the Payroll Protection Program, please comment on this video and I'll actively reply to them and make sure that any of those questions are taken care of. So I hope that you are able to go on walks, and if not, do some yoga or just chill out with your favorite drink. So hope you're well. Thanks.